Everybody in the world says identity is the new perimeter. With all these things revolving around AI and identity, it was apt for us to call Abdullah Massud, the senior SC at Ping Identity. What is the roadmap which identity has taken to transform into something called next generation identity now?
Trust and security go hand in hand. Trust and experience go hand in hand as well. As identity improves, the experience that you have pertaining to that should improve. Anything that interacts with an online platform has an identity. If an AI is performing a task, it's a human being.
Let's say if you are a CIO, you would have 10 employees, and among those 10 employees, 6 of them could be AI employees. How does Ping Identity help me with that?
It's a multifaceted thing. There's AI as employees and AI as a tool. With both of these, there has to be an understanding of the perimeters and guardrails set for what they can do. I, as an individual, don't have access to every single application. I can only do what I'm allowed to do.
True.
And that's the exact same protocol that should be applied to AI agents.
Hello and welcome to Spire Connect powered by Spire Solutions. Everybody in the world says identity is the new perimeter. And then the buzzwords of agentic AI, AI-based identity. With all these things revolving around AI and identity, it was apt for us to call Abdullah Massud, the senior SC at Ping Identity, to share what are his thoughts around identity and AI. So let's welcome Abdullah.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And you are also an expert on ping identity, so I'm going to leverage you where I can to add to my technical capabilities.
That's perfectly fine. Sales and technical is always a great combination.
It's always a big combination. You know, I don't like to call myself a sales guy. I don't like to call myself a technical guy. I like to call myself a people person. I came into this job with very, very minimal experience in identity. Where I am today is purely because of the learning steps I've had from an outsider perspective. And that's what you need to understand it at a personal, individual level.
When I started first talking about identity, for us it was identity access management. Then it became identity access management in the cloud. And then it came the end user based identity.
Yep.
What is the roadmap which identity has taken to transform into something called next generation identity now?
Absolutely. There's a key word that you hear a lot. Everyone talks about it for the past few years, and that's zero trust. What does zero trust imply? It means we don't trust you, you have to prove who you are.
Yeah.
Trust and security go hand in hand. Trust and experience go hand in hand as well. As identity improves, the experience that you have pertaining to that should improve. So what is identity? Anything that interacts with an online platform has an identity, not just a human being. It could be an API, it could be a machine, an AI, which everyone talks about. How do you work with them? We have to consider those as human beings. If an AI is performing a task, it's a human being. If you're employing an AI agent or asking it to do something for you, you should treat it the same way you do as a human employee. You onboard it, you interview it, you reject some of them, you offboard them. So with all of that, there's a security aspect. What does it look like? Everything now in this day and age is digital. Everything.
Yes.
Cyber is so important. When people talk about cybersecurity, the first thing they think about is endpoint security, you know, threat detection, etc. But where does it start? At that human level, at that identity level. If that's compromised, everything's compromised. Identity and access management has evolved to ensure that everything is done in a secure and seamless way. How do we interact with our phones? A lot of companies are very closed-minded. And I say that. And I'm happy to say that, and I will say that to anyone, because they only look at themselves and their peers. You have to look at technology as a standard. How easy is it to interact with things like social media? When do you log into Instagram? Never. But if there's an issue, they tell you, scan your face, you're in.
Yes.
If they can do it, everyone can do it. And that's what identity is. That's the best practice of identity. Seamless, secure experience.
You were mentioning about AI agents having an identity of their own.
Yep.
Now, in future, I see a place wherein, let's say, if you are a CIO, you would have 10 employees. And among those 10 employees, 6 of them could be AI employees.
Yep.
And that's where the principle of provisioning and deprovisioning come in. How does Ping Identity help me with that?
Absolutely. Let's take a step back. You mentioned AI as employees. It's a multifaceted thing. There's AI as employees and AI as a tool. With both of these, there has to be an understanding of the perimeters and guardrails set for what they can do. Even a human employee, I as an individual don't have access to every single application. Even the ones I do so, there are guardrails in place that I can only do what I'm allowed to do.
True.
And that's the exact same protocol that should be applied to AI agents or AI tools. They perform certain tasks. It's not a holistic, one AI agent does everything. You do specific ones. When the task is done, the company has to manage, right, do we keep these forever? Do we offboard them and then bring them on again when we need it? There's a lot we can talk about there with server costs. It's an expense. Like an employee, you pay for the resources for an AI agent. So how do you ensure that you're saving costs, time, and increasing revenue? You do it in a secure, seamless way. And that's why Ping fits in. By applying an identity to an AI, we allow you to treat that as a human being. So you apply all those processes, all those, what we refer to as authorization policies, allowing you to dictate who gets to access what, under which conditions, for what duration. You do that, you make life easier for yourselves.
Now, I was just mentioning identity is the new perimeter.
Yes.
If I am a CIO and I've budgeted for the perimeter security devices, and I need to rethink my investment to invest on identity, what are the early wins I can expect by using Ping Identity?
It's a very good question. Ping differentiates itself in its capabilities of scaling and ease of use. I mentioned something previously, and that's experience. And experience dictates everything. Experience as an individual matters as well. We don't see it as what we deliver as a final product to a customer or the customer's customer. It's what anyone interacting with our tooling has. Experience also equals security. We talked about the Instagram login capabilities. If you do a Face ID, much more secure than a password. You can steal a password. You can probably steal a face in this day and age. It's a lot harder. It's the same thing that we provide to customers. That seamless experience of building out a solution that's bespoke to you. There is no one size fits all.
Yes.
It's how you create it. What we like to say is if you can whiteboard it, if you can design logic, you can create it in our platform.
The world is talking AI, the world is talking deepfakes. Can Ping Identity help me identify and protect myself against deepfakes?
Absolutely. We have a dedicated product for that, Ping One Verify, which allows you to basically do what's in the name, verify your identity. Government issued identity and match against a facial scan. We have enhanced that with new technology and utilizing AI to actually assess and detect whether or not it's a deepfake. And to a very, very high degree. In fact, it's so powerful, even twins with exact likeness can be detected.
That's an exceptional capability of the product, and I'm glad you guys brought this up. Now, from deepfakes, I want to move to something totally different. 7 years ago, when I was talking to Ping Identity, they were talking about passwordlessness. Can you elaborate how has that changed in the last 7 years for you guys?
Absolutely. The mentality and mindset of companies over the past few years is, let's create a username and give people passwords.
Yes.
Strong passwords. That's what they want. Every time you sign up, give me a strong password. But what is a password? It's something you have to remember. And one of the most easily compromised things is something you remember. You can give it away. As human beings, we're flawed. We forget things. So what do? We write things down on notes. We stick them somewhere. That means someone else can read it, pack it into my account. Or I forget. I do a password reset. I phone up IT. Help desk. Help me reset my password. They have better things to do than help me reset my password, right? So there's a waste of time there. What Passwordless does is it removes that element that can be compromised. It removes the element that takes up the time of your help desk and IT teams. You leverage what you have as an individual, things that can't be compromised, your face, your fingerprints, your iris, things that you have that cannot be lost. I say cannot be lost, possibly, but hopefully not. We leverage those technologies to enhance that user experience, and everything I say ties back to user experience. The better it is, the more likely they are to interact with your platform or application. So we apply the technology to utilize things like WebAuthn, being Face ID, Touch ID, passkeys. That's a big one. You now have things that exist cross-platform. I can sign up for something on my phone. On my iPhone, for instance, on my Mac, I can use that same scan to log me into an application. A seamless experience. And that's what we support, building out that orchestration, that flow, to ensure that the user has a good experience, that there's less efforts from IT, and that it's more secure.
You mentioned about the workflows. So, if there are top three workflows which a CIO should keep in their mind, let's say if he's from healthcare domain, what are the three use cases you can help them with?
Absolutely. Workflows are a very holistic thing. There are standard ones that you can utilize and build on, but there is no one size fits all. The most common workflows you have to think of when it comes to a customer, and it's not specific to an industry. One is, what does that sign up process look like? The registration. How easy is it? Do you want them to fill out multiple forms and details? Do you want them to use some type of social login? Use Facebook login, use Google login, etc. How secure is that? How do you ensure that you're not creating duplicate accounts? What if the user already exists? So that's workflow one. Number two becomes the login process. I signed up the first time, I've given you my name, my address, etc. I never want to have to do that again.
True.
So how do I make that a seamless experience again? It always comes back to experience. So that's workflow number two. And three is the dreaded one. And these are the most common ones. I personally don't like this. And if you take the passwordless approach, you won't need this. But account recovery. At some point, most people are going to lose access to their accounts. It could be a lost device. It could be a compromised account, a forgotten password. How do I ensure that that process is seamless? You think about it not just from the customer side, but from an employee side, which is a lot harder. And that's where you can tie in technologies like identity verification and assist in that account recovery process. The approach is holistic, but you have to factor in experience at every given point.
You were talking about the digital experience of using an application.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm an e-commerce company and I want the digital experience monitoring to be done for my end users. Can I have a conversation with Ping Identity about it?
Absolutely. We're here to help. What Ping Identity brings, apart from a very outstanding product, is expertise. We're a global company that operates across every single vertical. And that means that we as individuals, our sales engineers, our sales team, our product teams, everyone involved in that cycle has come across different companies with different processes. What a lot of companies tend to think is that it's a one-size-fits-all within their vertical. We have banks come and say to us, what did this bank do? What did that bank do? But it's never going to be the same because your internal processes are different. And that's where that consulting experience that we bring helps a lot. We help you to see things from an outside perspective. It's the digital landscape. We're not a banking company. We're not an engineering company. We're a cybersecurity company that has a product that's applicable to everyone in the digital landscape.
Ping Identity is always known to be human first rather than technology first. Do we see a change coming in this idea post the acquisition?
Absolutely not. Everything is human first, or identity first. That's the correction I want to make, because identity, as I said at the start, is anything that interacts with the digital world. We also see AI, this new frontier that every single company is talking about, as a human identity. We talked about onboarding them, offboarding them. You treat them the exact same way. It will always be identity first, be it human, be it machine, be it AI.
GITEX is a symposium for so many world-class solutions. You've been here a few times as well.
Absolutely.
What is special about your presence at GITEX this year?
It's always going to be the experience we bring, and you're going to hate me by the end of this because I've said that way too many times, but experience, not just in what we deliver, but what we have. With this new initiative, the buzzword everyone talks about that we've just mentioned, AI. What do we do for AI? How do we see AI as a human being? And that's what we need to ascertain and help others understand. This is the perspective, the lens you have to look through to see AI. Is it a tool? Is it something that's going to replace or act as a human employee? How do you facilitate that in this digital landscape? That's the experience we're bringing now.
So now I want to start a small section with you, which we call the myth or a fact.
Sure.
And you can start your answer by telling whether it's a myth or a fact. Ping identity is only for BFSI or government as segments.
Absolutely not. Incorrect. We are there for everyone, whether it's retail, whether it's engineering, whether it's banking, whether it's government, healthcare, education, you name it, we do it.
Second one, Ping identity is a complicated solution and takes too much time to deploy.
Absolutely not. It's a very holistic solution. The way I like to frame it is it's a framework. You design what you need. If your solution that you've designed is too complex, it could take time. But there's always an easy way.
So my third question is, Ping identity is only present in the cloud and you do not adhere to the data residency rules of UAE.
Absolutely not. We offer multiple solutions both on cloud and on premise. We understand, depending on the regional requirements and the sector requirements, that you do need on-premise applications. We work a lot with regulated industries, banks, governments, etc. That support is there. It's been there from the start. It will always be there.
I'll add one more question from my side because I know a few customers. I have an existing identity access management solution and Ping identity will replace that solution. Myth or a fact?
If you want it to replace it, we can assist you in that replacement. If you want to have two solutions, you need to ask yourself the question, why do you want two solutions? You're doubling up on costs.
And are there any identity access management solutions you collaborate with?
We have an open framework. If you have something you are utilizing at the moment, be it Entra, be it Okta, be it SailPoint, Savient, we can absolutely facilitate integrations with all of those as long as they are standards based. We simplify that interaction.
If there is a CIO who is entering Jitex now and he bumps into you and you have 1 minute to tell him why he should top to Ping identity, what would your pitch be to him?
How seamless is your experience at the moment? Do you enjoy working with your own applications day to day? If they say yes, I would say, are you being honest with me? If they say no, come talk to Ping, because that's what we're driven about, creating that seamless experience for users, employees, customers.
You are today talking to customers across multiple regions.
Yep.
What is one myth about Ping identity which you would like to break?
That's a very good question. I haven't been asked that in a while. I'm going to take a second to think because there are a lot of myths and rumors that I do hear about the company. The one that I would like to focus on is that we don't care about some regions. And this comes up a lot because we hear you don't have this product available in this region or this one is here, why not with us? Well, you have to look at Ping in its entirety. What is it? How are we deploying it? There are certain capabilities that leverage new technologies. If it's not in your region, count yourselves as lucky because we're testing some capability out in another region before we give you that seamless experience.
That's a fair answer. Now, one more question which I have in mind is, it is easy to finalize the technology. It is challenging to deploy the technology, but once it is deployed, I need specific skill sets to execute that technology on daily basis. Is there any certification program which Ping has which can help me which can help train my workforce to manage Ping identity better?
Absolutely. We host a number of training sessions with certifications at different levels for all of our product suite, and it's a large product suite for you to be certified and be able to run and manage your own platform. In terms of deployment assistance, we have a strong partner network, a strong partner team, and internal consulting that can assist you with that.
Spire Solution is your extended arm in the region. How did this marriage happen?
As far as I'm aware, this has been here because of Spire's strong presence in the region. We operate strongly through a partner network within the Middle East. Spire is one of those distributors for us that has a very strong outreach across all the verticals that are important. Not to say some aren't important, but there are ones that have a stronger requirement for cybersecurity. In addition to that, Spire has a lot of trained and qualified individuals. We see it as a bond. It's a symbiosis. We need Spire, they need us.
I love the answer. This platform today is called Spire Connect. If you had to explain the value proposition of Ping identity to a 10-year-old child, how would you do that?
Again, that is a very, very good question. I'll take it down to the most simplest element possible. Do you trust a website? because that's how kids see it, websites. Do you trust the website? Are you happy for them to know things about you? If the answer is no, do you want someone in between that trusts them, that you trust as well, that will make sure nothing wrong ever happens to your information? That's ping.
That's paying for you.
That's me.
The right answer. This conversation is going to be live on Spire Connect, powered by Spire Solutions. This is a new initiative by Spire. What do you have to say about this innovative idea?
I absolutely love it. In this day and age, the most important thing is marketing. I actually did a interesting deep dive on Google to search what the highest paid role is in a company, and it's a marketing executive. Because marketing is what sells. You are your brand. How you are perceived is how others see you. Social media allows that perception to reach a wider audience, and that's what you need to tackle. These new forms that people can listen to whilst they're driving or actively, but get to know more about your company, the type of people that you work with, and to see that there is so much potential and room for growth that you guys want within Spire itself. I don't think you could do anything more.
Thank you so much, Abdullah, for this discussion. And with this, we wrap up today's episode with Abdullah Massud from Ping Identity. Thank you so much for watching this episode at Spire Connect, powered by Spire Solutions, where innovation meets conversation.